Hello Libra, welcome to this reading. My name is Zane and we are going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Libra for the week of February 14th. Now Libra, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Now Libra, I do not offer personal readings, so if you get a message from someone, that is not me, that's someone impersonating me. Please do keep that in mind. Please do not get scammed. I also do exclusive content on my Instagram, so if that's your thing, definitely give me a follow there. But with all of that said, let's go ahead and get into this reading. Now, just a small percentage of the people who watch my content are actually subscribed. And so if you watch my videos regularly and if you've not yet hit the subscribe button, please do consider doing that. It really helps my channel grow in a big way. Same is true if this is just the first time that you are watching me. All right, let's get all the cards out here. We're gonna be doing a Celtic cross and let's see what we have. Now this Wheel of Fortune did pop out when I was shuffling. I don't normally take pop outs, but it was there when I was shuffling. So I find that it's interesting. It's also good that it came back in here in the actual reading. Let me make sure everything's in view. I'm going to take 3 cards to clarify as we go along, and then something new this time. I'm going to take a few oracle cards here that I've already from 2 decks that I've already shuffled, and we will put the oracle cards here. All right, I think that looks just about good enough to me. Energy on the bottom, you have the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands is a very nice card to find. This is a card that talks about attraction. Queen of Wands is capable of attracting whatever they want and more into their life. And the reason being is because the Queen of Wands, they can handle all they can juggle and handle all of the tasks and the priorities that they take on. And that makes them very attractive. But more importantly, it's their authenticity that makes them attractive to people. And this is not just in love, but this is also attracting business opportunities, work opportunities. You give the Queen of Wands multiple tasks, they will get it done, and they will do it with an element of passion as well. That's hard to find. And so it's a very nice energy to find with the Queen of Wands here on the bottom. But I think the key thing with the Queen of Wands success is the authenticity part. It's also just making sure that you are not overloading yourself, because remember, every card has positive and negative meanings, and one of the issues with the Queen of Wands is that they can sometimes overload themselves. So with too many tasks. So just keep that in mind. Now, in your overall situation or in your current situation, you have the Hanged Man. So the Hanging Man or the Hanged Man is all about letting go. Okay, so the Hanging Man needs to give something up to get something else. This talks about making a sacrifice in your life. And really, it's this idea that something's got to give here, Libra. The Hanging Man really needs to cut the cable here and see what happens when they start free falling. See where they land, see where they go. And it's interesting because with that, the Hanging Man actually needs the Death card. The Death card is the most misunderstood card in the tarot. It really just represents transformation. The Hanging Man needs a transformation because right now they're not growing. They're staying where they are. And so for some of you, there's a big letting go here that is coming in this reading. In the problem position, you do have the Nine of Swords. Now, I don't read reversals, but it is coming forward as reversed. So the Nine of Swords, this can talk about, especially in the problem position, where you are just like extremely anxious, showing up in a negative or a problem position here with the Nine of Swords. It's making something out to be a lot worse than it actually is. I also think some of you are having nightmares or maybe even troubling dreams. This person is in the middle of a nightmare, and that could be, influencing you. You may want to take a look at your sleep at this time with the Nine of Swords and try to do your best to get quality sleep. But it can also just, like I said, it could be somebody who's making a mountain out of a molehill, because I don't know if they think that these swords, I don't know if I already said this, but they think that these swords are going to come down and hit them, but they don't actually do that. And so it says to just try to ground yourself when you have the Nine of Swords. And there is a little bit of a, how do I describe this? The energy here feels a little bit like jittery. it feels a little bit like it's time for something to give, or it's time for something to let go. Something's got to give type of energy here. And I think the best way to do that sometimes is to move out of the thinking mind and move into the action mode here with the Nine of Swords in the problem position. That's somebody who's in the thinking minds. Okay, and so let's just dive into this a little bit more. Now, in the past, you do have this Nine of Cups, so we have the 9-9 energy here, which is definitely a very good sign, indicating that you are almost there and you're almost about to complete something. Nines, of course, are the second to last card in the minor arcana, and so it says you're about to complete the task. And so I definitely like that you have double nines here. The Nine of Cups in particular says that your dreams and wishes may have been coming true here in the past. You may have had something that you've always wanted to have happen come true here. But now it's like some of you are also sort of being thrown a challenge. And it could mean that, what is that phrase? Too much of a good thing. Like, it's almost like this idea of having too much of a good thing can be a problem. You know what phrase I'm talking about. But it's almost like for some of you here, I think some of you are really wanting something new. And the reason being is in the future position, you do have this King of Pentacles, which represents somebody who sticks to their routines to achieve success. This is somebody who has achieved a high status in their career. They are wealthy, they are well-to-do, they know what they're doing, and they have achieved a lot of acumen and a lot of potential. They might even be wealthy with the King of Pentacles, because the King of Pentacles is all about building an empire. But the thing is, the King of Pentacles can do the same thing over and over and over again, whereby they miss out on life. They miss out on, experiencing new things and experiencing new opportunities, because they are so dead set on doing the same thing over and over again. And so for some of you here, there's a real need to break out of that paradigm with the Hanging Man and the King of Pentacles here. I think something, I don't know if it's overstayed its welcome, but it's almost like, for some of you, it's like there is a good thing that you've built here, or that you have here, with the Nine of Cups and the King of Pentacles, but I also think you're really wanting something new at this time. Now, on your conscious awareness, on your thoughts or on your mind, you have the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles can indicate teamwork, team environment. It can also be somebody who's a builder of quality work. As you can see, this person's holding up their pentacle. They have their mallet, they have their anvil in the background, indicating that they are an artisan or a craftsman or a craftsperson, or maybe a singer, author, writer, dancer, anybody maybe in the creative professions. It could also just say that whatever it is that you do for your career, you do it with an element of like skill, or you have a sort of artist touch that you bring to the table. And the thing about the Three of Pentacles is it's a very good card of reward and recognition, but it can also say teammates and team environments. And there's something here that you're holding on to with the Nine of Swords and the Hanging Man. It could be around this situation. What I love here in the subconscious thought and the subconscious awareness, you have this Wheel of Fortune. So this is about a change happening in your life. The Wheel of Fortune speaks to a big change, similar to the Death card, but different in nature. This is more about fate and destiny. The Wheel of Fortune is about your luck turning around, or your luck changing for the better, but it does say that you have to meet the universe halfway, and you do have to take advantage as the wheel has spun in your direction, because it will not be pointing in your direction forever. And so with the Wheel of Fortune, it's a very good card signifying positive change, maybe even luck-inducing change, but you have to really take advantage of the opportunity. And this is hidden, okay, because it's in the subconscious, it's in the lower row, which may be hidden to you. So moving forward here, in your staff, in your influence, the way that you are influencing the situation, you have the Six of Swords. Some of you looking to move on to calmer shorelines, looking to move on to new places here, letting the Five of Swords card, the challenge and the defeat of the Five of Swords in the past behind you, and instead moving forward towards something much better, something that brings you more fulfillment in your life. This speaks to transitions in your life and rites of passages. And so for some of you, you're about to embark on it. Maybe you're moving, maybe you're going to a new place. Maybe you are about to embrace the change here that I feel like some of you are really struggling with, potentially, not coming at you, but with the Hanging Man and the Nine of Swords, some of you may be struggling to let go. I do feel like maybe some of you are going to change that. In the external influence, you have the Hermit. This is isolation. Okay, your circumstance may leave you isolated at this time, like the place that you find yourself in, maybe your work environment. You may be isolated from your teammates or your group, or you may work for yourself and you might be isolated. But you're also building mastery, and you're also extremely wise in whatever it is that you do for your career and for your job. And so I think there's like good and positive and negative sides of that for you. I feel like some of you are really, though, working through, maybe isolation from groups, or just really needing to change something. It's almost this energy, like I said, this jittery sort of something's got to give energy for whatever reason is coming forward. You have the King of Swords here as well. King of Swords, and this is in the hopes and fears. This is about potentially like giving yourself a fair shot, or you may be thinking about like your boss or something like that, and like you might be thinking about like a meeting that you have with your boss, or a meeting with an authority figure. Something like that may be stressing you out here, because this could be your boss or something like that. You may be fearful of what they think of you or something along those lines. But on the other end, some of you are really looking to become a subject matter expert in whatever it is that you're doing, as you have this as well in the hopes and fears section, especially with the Hermit here in your external influence. Now, in the outcome, the Devil does talk about, this is about, this. I always like to say the Devil is like the card of our shadows, and this can refer to anything that we know we need to work through. And that will be different for everybody. For some people, it's addictions to certain things, food, Netflix, YouTube, whatever substances, whatever it may be for you, gambling. But the Devil can also come forward when there's like maybe issues around power and control as well. And I get the sense that with the Hanging Man, the Nine of Swords, and now the Devil here in the outcome, some of you are trying to control a situation. I don't think you're trying to control someone else. I think you're trying to control your own situation, like down to a granular level. And I think some of you are needing to maybe detach from that control at this time. Let's go ahead and start to clarify the situation even more. I want some clarity on the Devil here. So the Page of Swords, Eight of Swords, and the Ace of Pentacles. So the Page of Swords can represent some sort of disappointing news or news of delay in your life. The Eight of Swords can talk about maybe some sort of isolation as well. You having constructed a self-imposed restriction here, or a self-imposed imprisonment here. Each sword represents a thought. And so it says like you're definitely in your mind here, especially as you also have the Nine of Swords. The thing is, you have this Ace of Pentacles as well, which can refer to an opportunity, big opportunity in finances, or a career opportunity, a new beginning in the material. I get the sense that there's like some isolation here, okay? And I also think that some of you are needing to let go, like in a big way, and that opportunity will come as you let go, especially as you have this Wheel of Fortune as well. Now, for your oracle cards here, you have improving health, get more information, so definitely like to see that. And then you also have, you had a bunch that wanted to come forward here. You also have recovery, big happy changes, and trust. So I like that. I do think that some of you are working through this period, this shadow period maybe, that some of you may be going through at this time. I do think that there's a big opportunity to work through that, but this trust card I think is very important for you. Let's see what else we have here. We have Protection Guardian, drop your shields, as well as Elder, move beyond ancestral patterns. Lastly, you have Moon, take note of intuitive messages, as well as Peacekeeper, let go of the need to be right. Yes, that let go of the need to be right, I think, is the Devil energy, okay? And I think it's with yourself. I think some of you are really holding on and perhaps even have an attachment to the way that something needs to be, and that could be providing a control or an internal power struggle here going on. And I think as you drop your shields and you trust, the answer you find you are looking for will find you. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you. Take care, and I will see you in the next reading.